Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all had an awesome holiday weekend with Thanksgiving being last week. Took some time off because I felt like it. A little unmotivated to be hold myself accountable here. I was a little lazy, but also, we had some unpacking and some moving last week with my mother. As you remember from my last video, which I released last week before Thanksgiving, it was about the furniture arriving. And then once that happened, then quickly, just by coincidence or just the way the timing worked out, my grandmother was sent to respite. And this video here is very much for the people that have been keeping track of this. If you're seeing this video for the first time, I'm sorry this doesn't make sense, but my mom and grandmother has been with me for the last month. It was like 4 weeks total since we arrived here. So it was the night of Halloween. We flew out of Maine, and we got back in the wee hours of November 1st. And for the next 4 weeks, it was living with my mother and grandmother in my little 2-bedroom apartment, which was very interesting to say the least. It wasn't easy for anybody. It wasn't easy for them either. And but luckily, I had my room to kind of hang out in for the TV and my desk and my office and my drum kit. So I was able to kind of hide away and have my space. And Skylar has her own room with TV and the whole thing. So we were able to have our space. But when you have a 98-year-old grandmother in hospice in your living room, along with your mom, and them trying to live with each other in one room, it can cause a little stress in the whole apartment, in the whole household. So there was no shortage of that, being completely honest. But my mom finally, again, the furniture came in, put my grandmother in hospice, and then we started unpacking some of her boxes, went through more of her stuff, and it's amazing what didn't get damaged. A few things got damaged, like I mentioned in my last video, but it was surprising that there wasn't more, the way things were handled. But once my mom got a little more settled and we kind of moved things in certain rooms and getting her table set up and for her sewing and her just workspace, it finally came to fruition Saturday night when my mom stayed at her apartment for the first night. So she officially moved from my apartment to hers. So the first move was 1,000 miles and the second move was 1,000 feet. And I'm sure she's talked about that in her videos, but it was refreshing, I'm not gonna lie, to have my living room back and furniture put back in place and just chilling out in my living room, watching the big screen. And it was a little relaxing. It's like, wow, I can't believe we did it. The whole thing was stressful for everybody. And that goes even far back as again, if you've been following my mom, all of her decluttering videos started way back then. So it's been several months of planning and just going through this process, which wasn't easy for my mother. And then the actual move, and then the kind of being all cramped up in this apartment, and some of the relationship I don't want to say issues, but issues, I'll use it, between my mother and grandmother. That added a lot of tension to this place too. But I tried to remain chill. I think I did okay. I think towards the end I might have been getting a little frustrated and showing it, but that's how we roll. I know. A lot of comments coming from y'all about how happy you are that this, that, and the other thing, and how beautiful our family is. I'm here to tell you, we're just like any other family. We have our problems. So we're not as traditional as may think, but we got through it. And I can tell my mom is feeling a little better. It was stressful. The unpacking was stressful and emotional for her, because of fear of what might be damaged, what might be missing. But it seems like we're going to be okay with all that. And just the stress of what goes where and how to set it up and typical moving stuff. Now she's settled. She had a full night where it was just her in her apartment, which was a good way for her to see what it was like before my grandmother came back. So my grandmother came back yesterday evening or late afternoon, and I helped him move some furniture around. Again, we had to kind of rearrange the living room as we thought it was going to be a certain setup, but then once my grandmother arrived, we realized we needed to switch some things around. So that was no big deal. And then I said goodnight, and that was it. So I don't know how last night was for my grandmother, because I'm not attached to them and down the hall from them anymore. So, but it is cool to have them close. But I think anyone can relate to when you're in your 40s and then you're living with your mom again for a month or so. And then you add the 98-year-old grandmother in hospice to that. It wasn't easy, not gonna lie, but we got through it. I'm glad we did. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad we got through it all. We're on the other side of it. So now we can kind of figure out the new flow of being able to see my mom more, Skylar seeing her grandmother more. So it's all going to be cool. My mom's going to be able to go to schooling events. She's just going to be around for so much more, which will be nice. But new dynamic, but it's going to be I think a healthy one in the long run as we continue to just create what the new normal will be, So that's the update for what the last 4 weeks have been like. I have my place back, which is nice. I have been more public lately because of this channel. I'm putting myself out there more than I ever have in my life. I've always been a very private person, so I'm putting my history out there. But I'm still a very quiet person, and I like quiet time and quiet space. So it was nice to just have some quiet time, back to normal a little bit. So anyways, thanks for joining us for this journey. There'll be plenty more stories to tell, I'm sure, as we continue down this path. I'm looking forward to trying to get back on track and creating more videos. As I mentioned in past videos, when Skylar goes on school break, and because I work from home, I lose a lot of focus and motivation. It's something about not having to wake up and take her to school that just throws my timing off. It just throws me off. And the fact that I can sleep in a little bit, I have no desire to wake up at 6 a.m. like I normally would and just do my routine, with the only missing factor being taking Skylar to school. I tried, I can't do it. I sleep in a little bit, and then that brings in laziness. And it was just paired with the holiday and my mom moving and everything. I kind of just halted and did the bare minimum for my business too. Just took some time off, which is complicated for me, because sometimes it's nice and sometimes it brings in more anxiety because I'm not doing things I should be doing. So hopefully we're back on track this week. I got some more videos coming your way. Get outside, do some more walking, do some more outdoor videos for you, and have some fun with all that. So I hope you all again had a great holiday weekend. Happy belated Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you again later. Bye.